This episode of the Community Workbench podcast is proudly sponsored by yours truly, Matt Norn of Remax Bell Park Realty. For all of your real estate needs, residential and commercial, call me 860-428-6534. Your dreams are my job. This episode of the Community Workbench podcast is also sponsored by Home Improvements by Brandon Long. Home Improvements by Brandon Long is a family-owned and operated company. They specialize in quality custom remodel work. They have in-house carpenters and tile guys who put quality customer service above all else. For your next home improvement project, whether it be a kitchen, a bathroom, a deck, new windows, and or doors, or new floors, give Brandon and his team a call, 860-942-6564. Thank you for your sponsorship, Brandon. All right. Welcome to the Community Workbench. This is Matt Norn and Kyle Morrissey. We are your hosts of the #1 podcast, In My Basement. At the bench, we try to repair the sense of community. So every week we bring you small businesses, entrepreneurs, community leaders, charities, and pretty much whoever we feel like talking to. And today we feel like talking to the owner and chef of Grill 37, Ian Farquhar, and his front end manager, Sadie Dutremble. Hi, guys.
Hey. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, welcome. So glad you guys could come out.
Happy to be here.
So, Ian, this was kind of your dream. You started it.
Yeah, we opened at the end of 2012
Okay.
into 2013, and yeah, when I was a kid, I always wanted to be a cook or a chef, and life took me down a couple paths, and then the restaurant opened up, and my friend and I were like, "Hey, let's give it a shot."
Yeah.
And we didn't think it was going to happen, and we just kept like plugging away at it, and yeah, here we are.
So you have another partner in?
Yeah, Josh is my business partner.
Oh,
He's,
okay.
Nice. He's the grill guy. He's the grill master.
Nice.
He's in there doing all the hard work.
Awesome.
All mistakes.
Was it like maybe we talk about your education more first, but then I was just wondering, was it like wildly different than you ever expected, or was it kind of like, this is how I ran the last one I ran for someone else?
So I mean, we talked about you had parked cars for Peter Cooper.
Yep.
I worked for Peter Cooper when I was 16.
Okay.
I worked with him at the Harvest. I started off garde manger, baking pastries and doing desserts and appetizers and stuff, and then started doing catering and worked for him for quite a few years. And at that time, I wanted to go into education. I wanted to be a teacher, so I was taking classes, going to chipping away at my degree, and then kind of stepped away from the restaurant business in my early 20s to focus on education.
Yeah.
Worked at a local private school in the elementary department.
Oh wow.
And then started kind of get burnt out from that a little bit.
Yeah.
I loved it. Loved working with the kids. But that desire to cook and be in the kitchen just kind of gets in your blood.
Okay.
So and Josh and I were just kind of joking around one day. I think we were playing like pickleball or something. It's like, yeah, let's go. Like, let's give it a shot and see what happens.
Yeah.
So kind of joking around at first, and then we like started looking at numbers, started looking at like playing around with menu ideas and stuff, and what we wanted to do, and like staffing ideas, and then we just kind of everything fell into place. And
wow.
So,
did you have schooling for being a chef before?
I took some classes through Johnson and Wales. I worked with a lot of chefs. That was the best experience possible, is just hands-on working with some really talented chefs.
For sure.
Literally like just hands-on.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, and, when I was a kid, my parents were involved in the community, and we did a lot of stuff with the fire department. We did huge like turkey dinners, and my mom was at the church with the catering committee, so we did stuff with it. So I had when I was younger, kind of thing, and like it just always was fun to me. Didn't seem like work.
Gotcha.
So,
and being your own chef, that's like the dream, right? That's kind of
I mean,
get to make your own recipes.
Yeah, one of my most like one of my favorite parts about it is the creativity.
Yeah.
And being able to come up with menus, and we change our special menu every Friday, and try to come up with like seasonal stuff, and just kind of be playing around with it. And it's like this week I feel like cooking this, or go into our fishmonger and be like, hey, what do you have this week, or
Right.
going to Lapsley Orchard, like, what do you have this week, and just
Nice.
playing around with stuff and trying
Local
to like
business.
yeah, we love Lapsley.
Nice.
But we work with a lot of local orchards and farms and stuff using meats and cheese and vegetables and as much as possible.
Yeah,
So
that's great.
yeah,
So just so everybody knows, this was the Harvest.
It was the
before,
Harvest,
and
yeah.
I worked valet there for
Yeah.
a number of for a time,
Yeah.
and it's still at 37 Putnam Road, Pomfret,
Pomfret.
Connecticut,
Yep.
06259.
Yep.
And your phone number is 860-315-5640.
correct.
Just wanted to put that
Yeah,
out there,
yep.
kind of in the beginning. Do people call for reservations? Is that like you guys do reservations?
Yeah, they
Restaurants, it's hard to find one that'll do reservations.
it is hard. Yeah, we don't require them, but on the weekends they're definitely recommended. Our weekends have definitely been busy lately, so it is definitely best to call, especially if you have a bigger party. But I do my best to squeeze people in wherever I can.
Yeah.
But you can also make them online through Google as well. So
Gotcha.
a couple of ways to do that.
That's kind of nice having that.
Yeah.
Can come in anytime.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, actually, it's
Yeah.
weird. We get them. Google calls us at like 9, 10 o'clock at night. I think we had one Sunday. We were getting ready to leave, and it was like who's calling? Oh, it's Google. Because you go online and enter stuff into like the Google website,
Yeah.
and then an automated service calls us.
Huh.
And it's kind of creepy because it sounds like a person, but it's not a person.
Yeah.
And you can ask it questions, and it'll
It
It'll-
pauses. It says so it'll
It's-
be
it
like
literally sounds
it'll
like
be
a
like I'd
person.
like to make a reservation, and you say what's the name, and it'll say Matt Norin. Okay, and when would you like to come? And and then you ask for its phone number, and it's like
hang on.
860. It's so weird. It
That
definitely
is wild.
Yeah.
weird, but it's helpful for people
Yeah,
that are
right.
busy and stuff.
So what happens if it's not available?
Usually, so we'll call them back.
Oh,
If I have
yeah.
like too many reservations or it's a bigger table that I can't fit, I'll just give them a call and ask them to come like at a different time
Yeah,
or something.
and we
like
try
that.
to call to confirm too if it's an online reservation, just to make sure that it was like an accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
it's
makes
not
sense.
somebody just
Yeah.
browsing at night that accidentally hit a button or
clicked.
something.
We get
Yeah.
a lot of house people like that.
Yeah.
A lot of leads offline. Oh, I was just browsing.
Yeah. I didn't
Okay.
mean to click that.
Thanks for chirping my phone at 2 a.m.
Right?
Not that bad.
We have a new POS system within the last year, and we're working on doing online order reservations.
Yep,
through
online
the-
reservations. We're working on setting up like a reward system for people that come in because people
Like a
love that
loyalty
kind of
thing,
stuff.
yeah.
Yep, a royalty thing.
Gift cards are new this
Gift
year.
cards. Yep.
That was huge.
Oh yeah.
I've always gotten gift cards.
We have gift cards, but we're doing online.
We did
Oh,
online, and
okay.
then
So,
they're
yeah.
actually like the plastic gift
Oh, like
cards,
a
not
card,
handwritten
yeah.
ones now.
okay.
So
Yeah. So
that was-
I actually like when I sell a house in any town, I try to find.
oh,
like,
that's a good idea.
I
A
like to
restaurant in
do
that
like
town.
I like to do a date night. Like I'll
Definitely.
find like a a restaurant and a dessert plate, like an ice cream place.
Nice.
And that thing,
Yeah.
if I
That's a
can,
great idea.
Something like
That is a great
That's-
idea.
That's how I try and do, and then it makes it easier to do closing gifts. As well. It's like here's the
Definitely.
cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to go to TJ
kinda
Maxx and
save-
pick out some sheets or cutting boards or something.
Yeah.
That's good.
So and then
Nice.
it gives the local business.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Definitely.
Especially like if people, if they move in from not the area and they,
don't know what's
where to
around.
go.
Yeah.
So
That's a good
I
idea.
I love going out to eat, so I know most of the
Definitely.
restaurants. And,
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm kind of a garbage disposal, so even if a lot of people have a bad experience, I'm like, it wasn't that bad.
That's funny.
So, Sadie, what's your background leading up to this?
So I've been in the restaurant since 2002. Yeah, so I've been in the restaurant for a long time. Started as a hostess. Used to work at Hank's in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
I was there for actually 15 years, which is crazy.
Wow.
So I was a hostess and salad bar girl there. Got thrown into bartending on a busy Friday night when I was 18 when, things shifted around and they said, do you want to bartend? And I was like, I don't know anything about alcohol, but sure. So I served and bartended there for a while. And then I was actually a server and bartender at Grill 37 before COVID. And then COVID shut restaurants down for a while, and I was actually laid off during COVID
Gotcha.
and out of the restaurant for a little while. I actually worked in a bank for a few months.
Oh, really?
Definitely not for me. I give all of you listening that are bank people major props.
Yeah, hats off to you.
Total different customer service experience, and definitely was not for me. So like Ian said, once you're in the restaurant, it's in your blood. It's in your blood. I couldn't wait to go back. So from there, I actually managed at the Black Dog Bar and Grill in Putnam for 3.5 years. Wild, crazy, busy, fun. Loved my staff, loved my boss. Had a great time working there. Thankful for my management experience that I got there. But then Ian had, you know, had been harassing me to meet with him, and I wasn't ignoring him. I was just super busy. You know, you get so busy and caught up with life. And I finally sat down and talked to him, and he said, when I think of someone to run the front of house of my business, I think of you. You know, you've been in the restaurant for so long, you know so many people, you're great with people, customer service and all that stuff. So I was super happy when he welcomed me back, and I'm really happy to be back.
Nice.
And we're glad to have you back.
Yeah, really excited to build up the business. We have some exciting things coming up this year, and work together on, you know, drumming up business, different specials, creating great experiences for customers and that kind of stuff. So
Nice.
super excited.
Nice. As far as food goes, I've never had a bad meal at your place for sure, but my absolute favorite is the chocolate creme brulee, and
Yeah.
I've never seen it anywhere else. That's like
Yeah, we do.
genius, really.
Yeah.
That was so good.
Creme brulee is so good.
My brokers and I all like try creme brulee for desserts around
Yep.
the area, and we kind of bust on each other about it. And but I keep telling them they got to try the chocolate creme brulee at Grilled 37.
Yeah.
So it's so good.
And our carrot cake, that's really good too.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys have some big events coming up. This is kind of like beginning of spring. Things start picking back up from the little. Do you have a January, February lull, or you guys do pretty well?
We have Valentine's Day, New Year's Eve. We have, in the past couple of years, it seems like companies have their Christmas parties after the holidays.
Yep, that's when we.
So, we kind of have that carryover, and all depending on the weather too. During the winter, it completely depends on what's going on at the restaurant.
Yeah.
But as far as like events and stuff, January, February are pretty slow. March is like people are just cabin fever, want to get out and do some stuff. Our happy hour this March has been like insane, crazy.
Nice.
I think Josh hates me because we've been selling like hundreds of burgers, and he's like, "No more burgers."
Oh, he's the grill guy.
He's the grill guy. Yeah. So his happy hour has been crazy.
What is happy hour for you guys?
So we have happy hour every Wednesday and Thursday from 4 to 6 p.m. And then Sundays from 3 to 5. We have $1 oysters, $9.99 appetizers, $12.99 burgers and fries, $5 house margaritas, and $6 drafts. And then we do happy hour on Fridays now as well from 4 to 5:30. It's including that same menu. We just don't do the oysters on Fridays. I know. Because we get busy on Fridays. So that would be
like how many oysters can you possibly shuck in an hour? It's like
need a better
I have
shucker.
like carpal tunnel on my shoulder from
But yeah, happy hour's really been taking off. It's great. Super great.
So
good deals.
I don't know a whole lot about being in a kitchen at all. And it's pretty bad. But so if you have Josh as the grill guy, what exactly is your part? I know you make the recipes.
So
and like what machines are you using? I
Yeah.
guess.
So during the week, our kitchen, we have Josh is on grill. He helps. He does like all the sauces, marinara, the French onion soup. That's his like baby.
Cuts all the steaks.
He cuts, he cleans and cuts. We get all like primal cuts and stuff. So we're cleaning all the meat to order, not to order, but
all the
each
cuts
day.
that you serve. For
So everything when we say it's hand cut, it's literally hand cut. We're not getting any cryovac. There's no like pre-cut stuff. Same thing with like the salmon comes in like that. We're cleaning and cutting that. Like our marinara is made in house. All of our red wine demi, the veal stock, like we're roasting everything to make our veal stock, and French onion soup is made from scratch. So he's kind of like doing all that stuff, which is a lot. And then we have James. He's our saute guy. He takes care of all the prep for saute. And then Justin is on fry, so taking care of all the fry stuff. My job is helping prep and like assist and all that, coming up with specials. I help Michelle, who's our banquet chef. She helps too, make sure everything's running smooth. But she's doing all the prep for the functions, which is a lot. So I kind of like bounce around and kind of help everybody make sure that everything's going smooth.
Make sure they have everything, kind of thing.
The majority of my time is taken up with like scheduling and payroll and all the fun behind the scene things that you don't really see. And then coming up with specials and executing that. And then on the weekends, it's called middle or expo. So I'm like in the line when the tickets come in. Each person gets like their own ticket and own like orders on the line. And I just kind of like call out, make sure that like, everyone's doing everything on time. And when stuff gets called from the servers, if they're ready on a table, then I make sure that like each station has what's needed to go out so we can time it so everything goes out at the same time. So we're not like, if the steaks aren't done, we're not going to plate the pasta. We're going to plate everything at the same time. So everything's going out as hot and as fresh as possible.
That sounds like a nightmare.
That's the worst part for me.
And seriously, like
it's weird because we thrive in the chaos, though.
It's,
I mean, you have to.
chaotic.
It's chaotic, but like we love it.
And expo, like my job, like some people are like, oh, you just like plate the food. I'm like, oh yeah, okay. like I didn't have a single gray hair in my head until like but just the organization between each station, making sure that everybody has what needs to go on the plate, communication with the server, making
and
sure.
for like me, for the front of the house, making sure they're doing okay, not seating a million
There's
people
a
without
lot of-
checking in with them and making sure they're,
There's a
they're
lot of
good.
communication between the front of back of house and in between each station, and then make sure the servers each section isn't like everything's
behind.
Make sure the bar is like keeping up and like
That's
knowing that within the next half hour we have like 45 reservations coming in, so it's like, all right, cut back on online orders, push it back another 45 minutes, and
Oh, so when you cut back, you just make the time longer.
so we tell them like, okay, you're placing your order now, but we just sat a full dining room, so that takes priority. And then it's like, if we have 15 fish and chips on like Lent right now, fish and chip Friday is like crazy, so we get a takeout order for 6 fish and chips, and it's like, well, okay, he's got to do this stuff first before we can do that. So
because people are sitting and waiting.
So that's more important than like so there's a lot of
moving parts to making the night go
and the chaos is kind of
and I can attest to that because I did celebrity bartender tips for whatever. And the second our bell rang to go, it's just screaming orders from all around you. And I'm just like, I don't even know where the taps are. Like I turn around and everything's blurry to me. I'm like, oh my God. At the end of the night, I ended up tipping the real bartenders that were helping us and stuff like that. I'm like, I don't know how you guys do this day in and day out. I just like, that is a whole nother thing that is not for me. The multitasking, everything that
definitely
goes on.
Multitasking.
I give any food service so much props because I just like I couldn't do it. Also, I would pick at everybody's food when I was back. I have such a hard time.
That's funny. Luckily on Fridays he usually makes us samples of the specials so we can try, and try them, and that way the servers know what they're selling and that kind of stuff. So that's always nice.
That would be the only good part for me.
Right. I
right,
tell him
can I
that
go home now?
he's feeding us so we don't get hangry before we get going.
That's also the reason behind it. Happy servers.
Yes, definitely.
Do you mind if we talk about your big venue? Because you guys have a big
of course.
hall for functions.
Definitely.
And I've been there for both small and huge functions.
Yeah, we can do anything from birthday parties, anniversary parties, graduation parties, like you said, weddings. We actually do have a beautiful gazebo on premise that will be, getting ready with the nice weather, cleaning up the yard and all that fun stuff.
It's hidden in the back. I don't think anyone knows it's actually there.
Right.
It's kind of like tucked away in the corner. So it's
really
beautiful
nice.
back there.
Baby and bridal showers, celebrations of life, and then holiday parties. So whatever you're planning on celebrating, we can handle it. We have a big function room that can handle between 120 and 140 for people. And then we have a veranda that handles like 30 to 35 people and a couple of smaller rooms too for smaller, more intimate events. But we love being part of special events like that. So,
and too, like, we have our base menu for functions and events that we kind of go with. So we kind of like for smaller local things, we kind of just kind of stay on that because it's easier. But we've done for birthday parties and like there was a French Canadian family that came in. They wanted all this like French Canadian stuff that we don't normally do. So we tailored our menus like there was like that brown bread, there was brown bread.
What about poutine?
There was poutine. There was like a whole bunch of like weird, not weird, but there was stuff that I wasn't familiar with.
Yeah.
So we do a lot of research and do some
tomorrow.
experimenting, and really like cater up a menu for them. But we've done like
if you ever need a French Canadian tasting,
hey, I'll give you a call. Hey.
Actually, we'll taste any food.
Yeah. We've done poutine a couple of times in them, and that sells pretty well. Yeah. I mean, if we're not eating it in the back. But yeah, like sometimes it gets very mundane and like repetitive, and we're cooking the same stuff over and over and over again. So that's where like when we cater special menus for people, it's fun and it kind of like revitalize and kind of it gets you like fired up again. But we do like Indian night. We do that a couple times a year, probably like 4 or 5 times a year.
Oh, wow.
So we do
Polish
a
night,
Polish
too.
night. We do Polish night.
Ooh, pierogies.
Yeah, we do
Yes.
pierogi, glunki,
Glunkies.
Yeah.
kabusta, stuff. Yeah,
delicious.
kielbasa and
Are those like prefix meals?
So we've done multiple ways. We've done it plated where you can pick like certain things, but the Polish night works best as a buffet. So people can just like go up and like if they like this, they get that, and
So like the whole restaurant is buffet
Yep.
style.
So when we do Polish night, you can also, if you want a burger, you can get a burger. So if you're with somebody and they don't like Polish food, they don't have to get it. They can order off the regular menu, but we set up in like the fireplace room.
Oh, okay.
We set up which is right off the lounge.
Yeah.
We set up a buffet, and so if you want to eat Polish food until your like heart desires, go ahead and like
Or
eat
explodes.
50 pierogi.
Right?
All the
Yeah.
butter.
Yeah.
It doesn't take
It's
long
so
to
good.
fill up on Polish.
So
food.
yeah, Kabusta, yeah. And then Indian night too. That seems to be geared better towards a la carte, like individual plates, and like sampling and stuff, so you can try different stuff.
You do that like rice pudding they did. That's like
With like the dried, like apricots, cranberries, and almonds and stuff.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it's really good.
I don't think I've ever had Indian food, honestly.
Huh?
I grew up here.
No, seriously.
It's like,
You'd have
I mean,
to
it's
go to.
still-
They have one. There's one in
there's
Yukon.
There's definitely a variety popping up more
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't have a ton of money to go out. So we were typically at pizza places when we went out as kids.
Yeah.
So that's probably why I'll eat anything.
I think someplace special was like the
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were Gus's in Plainfield. I grew up in
Yeah.
Plainfield.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's awesome.
pizza, a pitcher of root beer. That was
Look at you now.
So when you have these big nights, like a Polish night and stuff like that, does it like take a lot to like break all this down for the next day and stuff like that? Like
we're pretty efficient with that kind of thing. Like the hardest part is like a la carte, like every dinner service. Like we're pretty used to the numbers and we know what we're looking at. But when we do an event like that, or like Thanksgiving, Easter, Mother's Day, it's always like I don't think I sleep for a week because I'm like, did I order enough ham? Do I have enough turkey? Thanksgiving, I think we cooked 32 22-pound turkeys.
Oh my god!
how does
I mean,
that
there's a
even
lot of
work?
turkey. It's a lot of time.
We served around like 400.
Yeah, it was over.
How many
400
fit
people.
in an oven?
We can, depending on, so I get there before we're using the ovens for anything else. So we had 2 convection ovens upstairs. We could fit 4, so that's 8. And then we had 2 side-by-side ovens. That's another 8. And then downstairs we have 2 ovens, and in the back kitchen we have 2 ovens. So we just
Oh my god!
we spatchcock them. So you like take out the spine and break them down. They cook. It cooks a lot more efficiently that way.
Right.
And they say they don't get dry out. So
Yeah,
there's a lot of prep.
Yeah.
So the timing is kind of, and we've been doing it for 13 years, so we're kind of
Yeah, you're on
used to it.
Yeah.
But I still don't sleep. I'm like, do I have enough turkey? I'm like, should I go out to Stop and Shop and buy like 6 more turkeys? Which I don't. I just, drive myself crazy in my own head. Like, do we have enough potatoes for mashed potatoes? I'm like,
Yeah. I want to say for quite a while, my mom would get the Thanksgiving dinner at least one time through the weekend of Thanksgiving or whatever from you guys. And she always ordered, the whole meal with all the fixings and stuff. She did that for quite a few years, I think, and she probably still does. I don't know.
But well, it was like during COVID.
But it's like a known thing that
we did that.
Grill 37, Thanksgiving dinner, that kind of thing. Do you guys are open on Thanksgiving?
We
Day,
are,
right?
yeah.
Because she goes and picks it up like when you open or whatever.
Yeah,
I remember that. So,
but yeah, it does. I mean, it does take a while for us to break
down,
and we setting up a buffet in the middle of the dining room for one meal, and then we have to break everything down, and then but we're all pretty. We're pretty good at it now.
Seem like you're pretty savvy with the logistics of that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Have you had any, I don't know, like bridezillas or just weird events thrown? Anything like what? Any of them stand out?
Any that we can talk about publicly? Go be like, I mean, we've had like. I'm trying to think. There was one bride that insisted on having the wedding outside at the gazebo. And I think it was like August, and it was like 95 degrees and like 100% humidity. Yeah. Like you could like see the air. It was so like humid out. And we set up the entire outside with all the chairs and everything. And our staff is like dripping sweat. And, and literally the people were coming in the restaurant. And she comes out from having her hair done, and it's like all frizzy and everything, and she's just freaking out that we have to have it inside now as the guests are like showing up. So we had to like pick up all the chairs, take it was Garden Gate, but now it's Green Valley Floral Design. They had like did flower arrangements all around the gazebo and everything, so we're out there trying to like step stools, trying to take everything down and
my goodness,
like put it back up in the function room in front of the fireplace so that they can get married inside and like
so was it like that's where so like if you get married at the gazebo, typically your reception would be in the dining hall, so just people just sit at their seats for the wedding.
If we do it inside, like if it's raining or something, or rain date kind of do it inside. But
gotcha.
I'm sure there's some crazy stories that
I didn't know if there's any like weird parties and you don't cater off site, do you?
We do.
Oh, you do? Wow, that's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah. Typically they're smaller, like
just going to someone's house and doing a meal or whatever.
Like stuff to the Pomfret school.
Yeah, Pomfret Prep. We'll do stuff for them. Where Gwen Carrick, we've done some stuff.
Gwen Carrick.
Rosen Cottage, Rosen Park. Tyrone Farm, I think they cut back a little bit on stuff, but we've done some catering there, and then just people like backyard weddings and kind of stuff.
Wow.
So,
so you could be doing like one function
at the
off-site
restaurant
and at the restaurant. That's
a couple years ago. We did one wedding, and it was a busy weekend. I want to say it was like Pomfret Prep Parents Weekend or something. So we're packed. We had a wedding of 100 plus in the function room. And we also did a wedding at the lake in Woodstock, Eastford line. No. Like Witches Woods or something.
Oh.
Wow.
But that was an offsite. I think it was like 300 people. They had like 2 huge tents. So we had
do you
300
before and bring it, or do you cook
so
there?
we have Cambros, which keep stuff warm.
Yeah.
And we have some like portable stoves and stuff we bring to like heat stuff up last minute.
Wow.
So you heat everything up. And they had prime rib. They have like a carving station. So I think we cooked like 8 or 9 whole sides of prime rib.
Wow.
But we cooked it rare because it was going to continue to cook.
As you got.
And we had 2 waves. So someone was at the restaurant finishing off the second wave of prime rib, and someone ran it there as we were finishing carving.
Oh,
wow.
And like so there's a lot.
But you could only do if it's local enough, right?
Yeah, and even that was like a 15-minute drive. Like when we first we did like a dry run. Like, wow, this is really far away. Like I thought it was right down the road, like flying down 244 with like 100 pounds of meat in the back of the car. But yeah, we've done some crazy stuff.
So when you have that many events going on, you must have to hire extra stuff. Do you have like a call list of people that are like, hey, I'm available for events kind of thing?
Like,
Is that like, how does that work? 'Cause
back of house, like in the kitchen, we have some previous like former employees that we can call on. They help out a lot.
Yeah.
But most of our function staff is kind of per diem, because we can't say like, okay, you're going to work every Wednesday and Friday or and
Right.
Sunday, because we don't know when the functions are going to be.
Yeah.
So a lot of them, this is like a second job, or
Or they're in school
Or they're
and
in
they just
school.
want some hours every once in a while.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, we have these events coming up.
Yeah.
Like who can work kind of
Right.
thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would guess a lot of them are planned pretty far in advance.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
weddings are what now? 2
Definitely.
years
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. So
Usually, that's
Yeah.
wild.
It is
Yeah.
wild. Definitely.
You ever double book?
no, like we have not double
for
looked.
you.
We've had a few last minute like changes. That's a polite way of saying it. No, we had like cold feet, and they ended up canceling the wedding. Like literally.
Oh yeah.
That's more
Um,
sad than anything.
yeah.
But then what do you do with the food?
Hopefully, we haven't started cooking it, so we can like try to do something with it.
Yeah.
Oh, have you had anybody left at the altar?
No, not yet.
I
yeah.
like how he said
I
not
mean-
yet.
We have had a few like shotgun weddings where someone will call us on a Thursday and like, oh, we want to book a wedding. Like, oh, what's the date? And they're like, Saturday. It's like, oh, so like we don't really ask what the circumstances are. So we just kind of like roll with it.
Yeah.
But we've done a few.
Yeah, but how, like,
A few.
with only 2 days' notice, how big of a wedding could you actually realistically do? Or any?
I
like,
think
a
that one was
party?
like a 30, like
Okay.
30 people.
Yeah, like I was
just
gonna say,
kinda like,
inviting.
Yeah, like,
how many people aren't even
yeah,
show?
it's like call your family up. Like, what are you doing Friday? Like,
Yeah.
well, and
Not
like,
so much like the room, like not having
food,
the room.
right?
It's food.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
making sure they can order all the things
Yeah.
that.
Get it there.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes with
Right.
celebrations of life, like we don't have more than a week's notice.
Oh, that's true.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
that one's.
So there's certain things we try to like have on hand that we can do. So
Do you probably limit the menu at that point? Just
yeah,
stuff you
depending
know you
on
can
like
do?
if they want something, if we can't get it in on time. So I mean, and we're getting regular orders from our food purveyors, so we can normally kind of
Yeah.
get it in quicker. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
what do you do when you have a surplus? You make it a special the next, like, so that you can get rid of it? Or-
Yeah, I mean, we try really hard. I mean, that comes with, just doing it so often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is if you have 100 people, how much of each thing you need to order. And,
Yeah.
So just trying not to like, because we try to do as much fresh as possible, and everything is made in house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So trying not to have excess stuff.
Yes.
I mean, like Thanksgiving with the turkeys. Like I was sweating it that we were gonna run out. You can't run out of turkey on
No,
Thanksgiving.
I mean
Right.
any other day you run out of something. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, that's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
But you're like, this is Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
It's like you never run out.
So like I think we were down. I think we had like 20 pounds of turkey left over. I mean, it was like right down to.
Wow.
So the staff goes through with the staff
Yep, we
eats and
made
stuff,
some.
and
then he made some like turkey soup and
yeah,
Oh, there
Yeah.
you go.
good about using it.
yeah,
Yeah, most meats are pretty versatile. Where like if
Definitely.
you have
We made it into a
leftover.
soup or
yeah,
something.
Yeah.
yeah,
Sandwich.
yeah.
Ooh, you do like a like on Friends, Ross eats the moist maker. Do something like that.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's a good idea.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Right, like,
Yeah.
Do
Like
a special.
You're probably open Friday, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. It's
yeah.
you could do. Everybody wants like a variation. They don't want the same meal.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
they want
yeah,
like,
this is the
sandwich
moist
or
maker.
something.
yeah,
Come up with your own like
Dip.
Eastern Connecticut
Yeah.
phrasing.
Dip that middle piece of bread
Yeah.
in the gravy.
Yeah.
The moist maker. I just always remember when he's explaining how it got stolen at work.
Oh, that's yeah.
Chandler goes, "Well, what did the police say?" It's like one of the best catchphrases ever. Sometimes when the kids are over dramatic, I'm like, "Well, what did the police say?" How many tables or how many seats do you have in the restaurant overall? Like, have you never counted?
No, I mean we can seat in the main dining room about 300 people if all
Really?
the seats are
Wow.
sat, plus
Yeah.
the 100 in the comfort room. So
The Pomfret room is.
I mean the main
the
dining
banquet
room.
hall.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
There's a lot.
So are there nights when that becomes just a dining room for?
No,
For more-
we,
Not
we
usually,
try not
just
to.
holidays. We use
Yeah.
it for like dining
Larger-
and
larger
larger
parties and
parties.
stuff.
Oh,
and stuff.
okay.
Yeah. But we have a few events coming up that that they're not 100% nailed in place yet. That we're going to turn the function room into more of like a lounge kind of thing
Ooh.
for
Oh wow.
some
happy hour or
music
something.
events and so we'll
Yeah,
have
we
like
talked about getting a few of like the local bigger bands. Obviously, most of them are probably booked like this year, but it's something we want to do moving forward where we have a couple of the bigger bands come in because we have a dance floor and stuff in there and turn it more into like a lounge kind of atmosphere where you can come and have some drinks and
Oh, I'd do that.
appetizers and
Yeah.
dance.
Yeah.
You know, because there's really nowhere local to like dance and go out, you know.
Right.
and the
so-
acoustics are good in that room too. So
Yeah.
because in our lounge when we have music, it's a smaller space. It's not so
Yeah.
when they're playing, and most of the music they're awesome. Like the bands we have, but when you're eating, you want to be able to have a conversation and like
Yeah.
So this would be
Yeah.
something a little bit more specific to that. And we have a comedy night coming up with the Woodstock Lions Club for a fundraiser. So we're going to do that in there, and same kind of thing, more like loungy.
Yeah. What night's
thing.
that?
June
June
9th.
6th.
June 6th.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's
Any
right.
others that you want to plug that are kind of set?
Yeah, I mean, in April we have on the 13th we have breakfast with the Easter Bunny. So from 9 to 1, bring the kiddos. That'll
that
be
brunch?
fun. Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
Nice.
Brunch
Buffet?
buffet. Yep.
Yep. And there'll be a photographer there if you want to get professional pictures. But if not, the Easter Bunny will be there. You can just like
Bring your iPhone.
bring your
That tastes
picture
good.
and take some
Yeah.
pictures, and you can get your own picture for free.
Yeah.
I think it's $5 for the professional
Oh, that's
picture, and I
cheap.
think they send you a digital copy of it or something. I'm not sure how
Nice.
that works, but
Yep. And then Easter Sunday we have a buffet from 11 to 4 p.m. In May we're going to run some Cinco de Mayo specials the first weekend of May, so the 2nd through the 4th. The 3rd is Run for the Roses. It's a Kentucky Derby event for the Day Kimball Women's Board to benefit Day Kimball Hospital. That's super fun.
yeah,
Let me ask about
So-
that.
yeah.
Are you guys going to watch it?
yeah.
You make a mint
So we
juleps?
we do. We have infields.
Yeah.
So that's actually a really fun event. The women's board, they go over the top and decorate the room like crazy.
And they wear their big hats,
a-
like
yeah,
all that fun
Oh,
stuff.
they have a
It's
hat
fun.
competition.
Yeah.
There's a ton of door prizes and raffles, and like they do a
So
lot.
everybody dresses up like
It's fun. It's a
Kentucky
really
Derby.
fun event.
Is there it must be like cover charge or tickets.
Yeah, they have a
sold?
ticket price. The money all goes towards the Day Kimball Women's Board, and they do a lot for like the birthing center and just general stuff at the hospital.
Yeah.
We have a huge TV that we put up over the fireplace, and we watch the race.
Oh, cool.
The joke is that the race is only like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
It's literally
Very
like
short,
done.
yeah.
So we try to keep everyone entertained and having a good time when they're there. So there's a cash bar in the room. We do a bunch of like cocktail specials. They have raffle tickets, door prizes. They do a bunch of stuff. That's fun. But they go over the top. The room is like crazy decorated. It's a lot of fun. So that'll be on the website. I think we just confirmed everything with them. And that should be on the website this week.
Do you bring
So-
bookies?
I don't. Yeah.
Do you need a
Well,
bookie?
Yeah. But I think they do. There's like a raffle that you pick the horse, and whatever horse wins.
It's clever.
If
They
you-
disguise it
yeah.
as a raffle.
But that's a fun one. That's May 3rd.
Yep. And then the 8th, we're doing a Spanish wine dinner. That's definitely something that people look forward to,
Yeah.
where he and Michelle get very creative with different dishes, different courses that pair well with wine. And
Yeah.
Oh, I
Ian's
like
gone to
that.
Spain a couple times recently, so he's
Yeah. But we have a someone I can never say it right.
Sommelier.
Sommelier,
Sommelier.
Yeah.
who's coming out, and she's doing some really awesome.
That's what we have to have on
wines.
here. I am like so intrigued how you get into the line of sommelier.
The training is like very intensive to get
Yeah.
certified.
I'm
It's-
always
it's like-
intimidated to order wine when I see them at the restaurant.
yeah, it's like yeah,
Well, Peter Cooper had a huge wine collection.
yeah. His wine list
there.
was pretty extensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
You didn't get any of that when you bought it?
No, no.
'Cause I remember just like, because I was only like 16, 17, whatever, and it was like, someday I want to maybe drink wine, see what, you know what I mean? Just like their bottles are so fancy and
Yeah.
stuff. It's such a crazy industry as to like, which ones age, which ones don't.
Yeah.
And we had one of those like wine tasting parties at the house before.
Yeah.
And like I wasn't into wine, and then like when they gave us certain foods that would pair, it made the wine taste totally different. Now I like drink red
Yeah.
wine.
Yep.
It
Yeah.
was like a
Out of a box.
Why are you
Well,
judging?
Oh, I have the same box
have a
at home right now.
I have a podcast in the basement. We have
Yeah.
box wine for sure.
Nothing wrong with box wine.
You couldn't even say sommelier.
That was me.
That's cool. What time is that going off?
I believe it's 6:30 doors open for the.
So
It's a
There'll be
Thursday.
All
tickets
these
for
are
stuff
like
that.
you have to buy tickets for or reservations.
Yeah, those are reservation. Just call, we reserve a spot for you, and so
And that would be in the big hall, or is that you're just in the?
We usually do that on the veranda.
depending on how many people
Oh,
we
okay.
get. The last
Yeah.
few wine dinners, we like to keep it smaller because it's more intimate.
Yeah.
Because Michelle, my banquet chef, and I, we like to go out and as we're presenting the food, kind of talk about
Yeah.
where the food came from, the inspiration behind it, and how we prepared it. So, and then talking about the wines and the pairing.
Yeah.
We've done some wine dinners, 60, 70, 80 people. They're still a lot of fun, but it's not as intimate. We don't have as much time to spend at each table talking to people.
yeah.
So, and we like to keep that.
Just an idea.
Yeah.
Probably already thought of it. But can you do that with beer too?
We do.
We have
So,
It's
June
on my
19th, June 19th.
Yeah, I like you guys.
He actually he just met with Black Pond, so we're gonna do a beer and barbecue dinner in June.
Ooh.
Around Father's Day. So
Nice.
that's a new thing we're doing, and we're super excited about it. Excited to work with Black Pond, and
Yeah.
That's awesome.
We've worked with them in the past. They're really great guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've
local
been on.
brewery.
Yeah.
We'll have them on again for
Yeah.
sure.
You guys have a bunch of their stuff on tap.
Yeah, and they helped us out. We just redid our whole tap system and stuff. So now we have 12 beers on tap. Could not have done it without their expertise and knowledge. And they just got a new bourbon that was or whiskey that was blended specifically for them.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah, so
Okay.
we're gonna incorporate that into the beer dinner.
cool.
I think we're gonna do like a banana bread pudding
Oh.
with. Like
Oh.
yeah,
so we'll save you
You
guys some
had
spots
me
for that
at
dinner.
banana.
yeah. So
Put us down for 4
I
tickets.
love that.
Oh,
So,
man.
but yeah,
Well-
they're really fun to work with. So we're excited to do that
Definitely.
with them.
Yeah.
And they're going to be there too to talk about the beers. So it's always fun when we do a beer wine dinner when we get either like the rep or the winemaker
Oh yeah.
to come because then they have the passion
Right,
that are
yeah.
going to be like, I could stand up there and be like, this is beer. And like, I don't know the nuances behind it.
Right,
So
right.
they know all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. And
Yeah, that's
so,
cool.
yeah.
So do you have them on tap a lot? Black Pond's beers?
Yeah, we had funny story. Before we had the new system put in, they have Machu Picchu,
Yep.
which is their jalapeno beer.
Yeah.
And we had that. We had a margarita with that in it, and we had another cocktail that we used the beer in the cocktail.
Oh, cool.
And then I don't know if they stopped making it for a little while. There was some reason we took it off tap, and every beer we put on tap after that tasted like Machu Picchu.
No way.
Because we had to replace the whole line because
No,
that
I-
jalapeno flavor
Yeah, it gets
like
in.
just like permeated.
Just like you guys getting it in the blood.
Yeah,
restaurant in the
yeah.
blood.
Right.
Oh man,
the beer gets in the line.
That's
Yeah.
planned. So now
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
have to keep it on.
like,
top.
yeah.
That's funny.
But yeah, we try to have most of the beers on tap are local.
Yeah.
Connecticut, Massachusetts, Rhode Island. We try to keep as much local as
That's
possible.
awesome.
That is awesome.
So-
Yeah. Yeah, there's so many craft beers.
There are.
It's,
Yeah.
it's cool if you could do an event even with like multiple crafters.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yep.
If it goes well,
different
we could always,
courses.
do it with some other of the local ones too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's the one in Putnam now too.
Bare hands.
Bare hands.
yeah.
Bare
Yep.
hands. Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
I know
Yeah,
personally I
Taylor
like
Brook,
sours,
Bare
and they
Hands.
have
Yeah.
they always have a sour on tap that I like. So
Yeah.
Nice.
yeah. What else is coming up? So Mother's Day is May 11th. That day we're doing brunch and dinner service. And we also have live music from 4 to 7 p.m. that night with Kevin Saley. He's great.
What genre is he in? Is he like a
Kind of classic rock, right?
Yeah.
I think.
Okay.
Yeah, relaxing. He's
Yeah.
he's really nice. Yeah, he's really good.
yeah? When it was the Harvest, they always had a jazz band on.
Yeah, on Sunday. We
Sundays,
did
yeah.
for that.
the piano player. He actually moved to like Michigan or something.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
But, every Sunday we had the jazz trio would come and do some
Yeah,
jazz.
that's awesome.
That was fun.
Yep. And then we're also working closely with Green Valley Florals in Pomfret. So actually, if you're planning on coming in for Mother's Day or even as a date night, you can pre-order flowers with them and they'll deliver them to us. So if it's your wife's birthday or, mom's birthday, Mother's Day, anything, you can call them and have flowers delivered right to Grow 37 with your reservation information,
That's cool.
and we'll have it right on the table. So we actually did that for Valentine's Day, and it worked out really well.
Really
Oh, I'm sure it did.
Yeah, it was
Especially
really,
if
it was
men
really
were
nice.
behind.
For sure. Earned some
last
brownie
minute-
points,
Yeah.
man.
How last minute can we do
In the
this?
parking.
Yeah.
I'm in the parking lot.
Yeah, so that's a nice thing too, supporting them, and they make a beautiful arrangement.
They
and
do
it's
a
on your
great job.
table.
That's
So
awesome.
we try to support them
Yeah.
as much as possible.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And then in June, we have the comedy night that Ian mentioned for Woodstock Lions. I know Scott Higgins is part of that, and he's definitely has a good following, very funny. The 15th is Father's Day, and then the 19th is that beer and barbecue night that we were just talking about with Black Pond, so that should be fun. We also have live music every Friday night from 5:30 to 8:30. I'm usually good about sharing who's playing, on Facebook, social media, all that stuff. So
Sadie's taken over because before it was me. Like
When you
oh
had
man, I
your
didn't
own.
post on Facebook.
Yeah.
So I'm like in the kitchen trying to. I'm like take a picture. I'm like, oh, don't forget, And so now like Sadie's taking the burden of all that, and so now I'm like seeing posts. I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Hey,
Yeah,
great what we offer.
Yeah.
I should like it.
Yeah, so between social media and the website, usually what we have going on is on there. So, and then some things we're working on. I'm working on setting up an event with the dueling pianos
Nice.
to
Those are
benefit,
awesome.
Yeah, they're
to
fun.
benefit the new local nonprofit Christie's Angels in memory of Christy Furland, who was a friend of mine from the gym. So I'm looking forward to booking that, sometime this week and getting that together, selling tickets for that to benefit that. And then also sometime in the fall doing a dining for a cause. We talked about doing like an Italian dinner for I ride in the winter PMC every year. So that is a charity event that raises money for Dana Farber. And I ride every year in honor of my grandmother. And
They
now
did it at
Christy.
Gillette, right?
It's
The
at
one in the
Fenway
winter.
Park.
Fenway,
Oh,
yeah.
It's
okay,
at Fenway
yeah.
Park, yeah. So he had mentioned, doing something like that. So I'm excited to plan that this year too. And then we also want to bring back our Halloween party in October, which everybody used to love.
Yeah, we haven't done it since COVID, and that was
Yeah.
like we would go over the top with like crazy themes.
There was
and
one
stuff.
year where we did a carnival theme where we actually had like
We draped the carnival tent like inside the function room, so it was
Yeah.
Oh,
like red and white striped.
that's cool.
it
like-
was insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
But
like
people
everybody
loved it.
dresses
Oh
up.
yeah.
Everyone dresses up and stuff, and the we always cater the menu because we always include food with the
Yep.
Halloween party. So we did like carnival food.
Yep.
Oh,
So we had like
okay.
We had a
corn
popcorn
dogs.
machine out there. Yeah,
popcorn,
corn
cotton
dog,
candy
yeah.
machine, and we did like adult slushy, like snow cones and
Oh,
stuff like
yeah.
that, and like
Yeah, it was
it
fun.
was fun. It was like fried dough and like, so it was more like picky kind of. It was
Yeah.
fun. It was
Yeah.
a lot of fun.
Yeah. A great partner for that would be the haunted, our buddies there that do the podcast out of Putnam.
Oh yeah.
No,
No, they don't do it out of Putnam.
I'm pretty sure they do. But all right. Oh, they
Woodstock. Yeah,
That's right.
They do it out. Of, yeah.
The Brown Brothers Haunting Hour.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
So
we'll have to
they-
get in touch with them because we actually
Yeah.
want to do a ghost dinner in October too.
Oh,
yeah.
they
Because our
yeah.
building
So-
definitely has some activity.
Yeah, supernatural.
Yeah. And anytime
Nice.
somebody comes in that is either like,
And
does
yeah,
anything
yeah.
with that, they can like feel it. And they're like, have you ever done?
So they
Which
were
we have.
there when. So we were there last year, 2 years ago,
Last year,
for the
last
Comic Con,
June.
Yep.
and so they were there for
Yeah.
that.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's where we met them. We've
Okay.
had them on twice
Yeah.
for our Halloween special and
Cool.
Friday 13th.
Okay.
kinda, like,
Yeah. So
special.
we want to get in touch with them and do like a
Yeah.
dinner there.
Dinner, yeah.
Yep.
Because they set up. I don't know if it was them. I can't remember who did it.
They set up the things upstairs.
They set up sensors like all over the restaurant,
really?
and they spent like 24 hours there.
Oh, wow.
And they went over like all the findings and stuff. And we actually had a small dinner where they presented it and stuff, and it was fun.
Oh, that's
That's
cool.
little
cool.
creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I make sure the door's unlocked before I run out at night. Like.
Yeah, yeah. My office is upstairs on the second floor,
Yeah.
and it's in the old part of the house of the building,
Yeah.
which was a house. And every now and then you hear like footsteps and
Or
like
the
it's a normal
glasses
building.
at the bar will move
Yeah.
or something like that. It's
That's cool. Well, the
crazy.
Brown Brothers like research buildings like
Yeah,
that, or
that's
Yeah.
cool. I'll have to get in touch with
they
them.
a lot of the things that they also do is they talk about older and newer horror films and stuff like that. So like, yeah, I'm sure that
We've got some stories.
you guys,
Yeah.
I'm sure
We
it'll be
definitely have some
fun
stories.
to
Yeah,
get you
Yeah.
get them on
Yeah.
on site or whatever,
Yeah.
and do a story about
definitely.
it or whatever. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
And then just in November, obviously Thanksgiving, we do an awesome Thanksgiving buffet.
The moist maker, maybe.
Friday. Well,
That'd be so great.
yeah.
And then in December, we always do breakfast with Santa, which is also a big
Oh,
hit.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Yep. And then obviously holiday parties, all that stuff. So,
Yeah. And we get the real Santa.
yep.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
He's awesome.
That's in the main room.
It's all over the restaurant.
We actually take over the whole restaurant for
Oh.
that.
Yeah.
Wow.
When we do breakfast with the Easter Bunny and breakfast with Santa, we try to do stuff with the kids too. So we have like cookie decorating and
Letters
on
with Santa.
letters with Santa
Yeah.
for Easter, which is Palm Sunday. It's the week before
Yeah.
Easter. We'll do a small Easter egg hunt out in the front. We have a raffle for the kids to win
An
a Easter basket,
Oh, cool.
and we have little stuffed animals. So each
Nice.
each kid gets a stuffed animal. So
That's cool.
it's like the kids have a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
That's awesome.
and the Easter Bunny's there hopping around. So
that's cool.
and I just confirmed yesterday that the Easter Bunny will be there. So we're good.
That is cool. That is cool. So you guys basically plan the whole year out ahead of time.
Try to.
And
Most of the stuff anyway. Obviously, some things will come up, like those buffets and stuff he was talking about, the Indian night, Polish night. We'll plug those in,
Yeah.
around what we have going on for
Now, for those, are they tickets or just reservations?
No, just
Just
reservations.
reservations.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Which will be posted on our website and Facebook and stuff.
so what happens when someone walks in on that day? Do you have to like turn them away, or is it?
No. So when we do Indian night, we have a reservation, and we try to ask when you make the reservation, are you planning to do Indian, or are you gonna order off the regular menu?
Okay.
So that way we can plan
Right. How many
people we have,
Yeah.
which helps with ordering and also scheduling for staff and
Yep.
all that stuff. But it works out pretty well. So if someone comes in and maybe their spouse or significant other doesn't want to eat Indian food, or
Right.
they can still get like a Caesar salad with chicken or a steak or fish and chips
Yeah.
or something, and we time it so it all comes out the same, so that like one person's not sitting there eating while the other person's like waiting for their food.
Right.
So
Yeah, that's got to be crazy hard to just. Well, you probably know every dish and how long it
Yeah,
takes
we work-
versus the other one. You
we
gotta do
work
that
really
math.
well.
They do.
Like everyone
That's
works well
wild.
together.
Yep.
So
We have a good team.
we do have a good team.
So that basically the regular restaurant is pretty much always open.
Yep.
Just you add,
Add
on
on.
the events.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's awesome. So
Yep.
that works out. I mean, that's cool. Other than valet, I have no idea where you're going when it
Yeah.
comes to a restaurant. But man, you guys make some good food. So,
Yeah.
thanks. And it's really great that you guys support so many other local vendors.
Definitely.
And that's really cool to me. When you're growing up, like it felt like it was always like Pepsi or Coke drinks
Yeah.
or whatever, and that was it. And then
Yeah.
like you never really realized that there was like Hosmer Mountain Sodas like right down the
Right.
road.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Like stuff like that.
Yeah, we have Hosmer Mountain on the menu. We have most of our coffee comes from, I just drew a blank, in Norwich, Central Coffee in Norwich.
Oh, okay.
We get coffee from for our espresso. Once in a while, we get from Two Dogs and also Chubby Dog.
Nice.
We get the coffee from them, from Beans. We've done events with them too when they've come to the restaurant and set up like their warmers and crafts and stuff.
Yeah.
When Main Street Gelato was open, we had their gelato on menu. They're supposed to open in like a month or two, I
Yeah.
hope.
I'm so upset that they had to move.
They're good people. They're just
Yeah.
like really good people, and we like sporting.
Yeah, so hopefully
They
we'll
get-
have their gelato.
So
on
we'll
there.
have their gelato back on the menu.
Nice.
We do stuff with Green Valley florists for centerpieces and stuff like that whenever we can. Lapsley and like all the orchards and
What do you get from Lapsley?
Everything.
cider, everything.
So in the spring, like they don't open their
Farm stand.
until like summer. Like I think it's July.
Oh, really?
I think so. But you can they have like the honor system when you go out. They have like strawberries.
Yeah,
Like-
usually they open up with asparagus and
Yep,
strawberries.
yeah.
It's kind of like their first yield.
Yeah, so we'll go and grab some stuff from them. But like in the fall, we stocked up on butternut squash, acorn squash, Hubbard squash, because all that can keep. I think we still have like 2 Hubbard squash and a couple butternut from them, but it keeps
Right.
pretty long. But as soon as tomatoes are in season, I'm there like every day buying tomatoes
Yeah.
and onions, kale. Like
Wow.
we get flowers from them for centerpieces and stuff. Maple syrup, which isn't theirs, but we buy it from
Right,
them, and
yeah.
that's I think from Woodstock.
Yeah.
Apple cider. They carry a couple local cheeses, so we'll
Yeah.
try to get as much from local as
That's
possible.
yeah, that's awesome.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, we try to. I mean, we're part of the community,
For sure.
and they support us, so we try to support them and like
Yep.
reciprocate as much as possible.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome.
yeah,
Man, I love that. These are the stories I love
Yeah.
to hear.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
whole,
Supporting
the
each
whole
other is
reason.
important.
yeah,
yeah. And yeah, I don't know who was on that night, but when we had Hanks on, you guys were like the first one to like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was-
I was
yeah.
like,
I think
this
that
is
was
so
me.
cool.
Yeah.
yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Like,
And that was such a big part of my starting out in the
Yeah.
restaurant
Yeah.
career.
Yeah,
you
there's
know?
not a lot of
Yeah.
turnover in that restaurant.
No,
It
not at
was,
all. That says a lot about a place. Lynn and
Yeah.
Mullen were great
Yeah.
people to work for, and
Yeah.
you know,
I think too, like a lot of people think like the restaurants in the area, we're all competing against each other, which we are to a certain point. I'm not going to say, but there's other restaurants will call up and be like, "Hey, we're out of registered tape for the can we borrow like some or
I've
Yeah.
even been part of like, we need soap for the dishwasher, or
Yeah,
we need
yeah.
linens, or
Yeah,
it's nice that we can call each other and kind
We
of
all- we all
lend
have
each
each
other a
other's
hand
back.
when we can.
it's like my
Yeah.
my potatoes didn't come in. Like, do you have an extra case we can buy off you, or when ours comes in, we'll replace yours, kind of thing.
Right, right, right.
So there's a lot of that behind the scenes. I don't think people see, and
Right.
yeah.
Plus,
that's-
we'll go
that's
and
really
we
cool.
go to local restaurants on our days off
Yeah.
sometimes too.
Right, that's the other thing. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I've seen other restaurant owners
Yep.
at different places, and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
you eat
Yeah.
here too.
yeah, yeah,
Like actually, Amy from Hanks comes to us often.
yeah.
Yeah,
We chat about different ideas together and music and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I mean, for like the live music, that'd be pretty cool to be like go on tour in the local area
right,
of all the
literally.
restaurants and stuff, and
Yep.
kind of get that following going, and
definitely.
Yeah.
that would be. I feel like that would be a big deal for local
Yep.
bands
Yeah.
Yep.
to be able to do that.
Absolutely.
So,
Yep.
yeah, we should start a network.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it.
Anything else you guys got going on? You want to promote?
I
Talk
don't
about?
think so. I'll just make sure everyone knows our hours. We are closed on Mondays and Tuesdays. We are open Wednesdays and Thursdays 4 to 8:30, Fridays 4 to 9, Fridays and Saturdays 4 to 9:30, and Sundays 3 to 8 with running brunch once a month right now. So just either call or look at the website or Facebook page for that. Usually it's around a holiday if there's a holiday in that month. And then, like I said, we have awesome happy hour specials. If you haven't been, you need to come every Wednesday and Thursday from 4 to 6 p.m. and Sundays from 3 to 5 with dollar oysters, $9.99 appetizers, $12.99 burgers and fries, $5 house margaritas, and $6 drafts. So, and then Fridays, we also run happy hour just minus the oysters, but from 4 to 5:30, you can get all the other stuff.
Nice.
So that's awesome.
What's your website?
www.grill37.com. That has our most accurate menu because Google, unfortunately, can post menus from,
I think it's
The
from
past,
2014.
literally.
People are like, "Oh, we want the lamb." Yeah.
we don't have that on our menu
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah.
But
So
that's
we-
our most accurate menu. Like our brunch buffet menus up there, the breakfast with the Easter bunny, all that stuff is up there. So if you're thinking about coming to us for Easter, our menu's up there. Yeah,
Nice.
definitely.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I really appreciate you guys coming down.
Yeah,
Thank you
thanks
so
for
much for
having
having
us.
us.
Especially on your day off.
Absolutely.
Are you working on any secret recipes right now? coming out with this?
So right before we got here, we're updating our regular full menu for spring. So right now we're running on the winter menu, and most menu changes I kind of keep it safe. And this time I kind of took the red pen and was just like slashing the thing. So there's gonna be some big changes on our regular menu. For
You have squash ravioli right now?
we have a butternut squash gnocchi.
Oh,
Using
this is good.
Good.
Yeah,
What's
Yeah.
a gnocchi?
gnocchi. It's a potato dumpling. It's like a pasta.
You probably had it.
Delicious.
Yeah, it's pasta, but instead of flour, you use potato. There's a little bit of flour in it, and you make like a little. It's a little like
They're little
Pillow.
like pockets
Yeah,
of love.
they're
They're
actually
so
like
good.
they
soft
look.
and
They
like-
almost look like the pirate booty without like
yeah,
the.
I don't know what that means.
Okay.
a little like
what came to mind
smart
was
food,
tortellini to me, but no.
No,
Kind-
well,
not stuffed. It's just like
no,
a
they
little,
just
like,
everybody describes it as a pillow of heaven.
It's like a little
So good.
potato dumpling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He actually just did a pork shank gnocchi dish.
Yeah.
That was
Ooh.
really good.
Wow.
Yeah, we braised some pork shank and shredded it with onions and some. That was really good.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. If you need, any
Taste test.
help with taste testing,
I love
or
that.
I mean, if you want to name something, the community workbench.
Ah,
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
Yeah. When we change up the menu.
Yeah.
Just throw that out there.
Love that. What would your favorite toppings be on a burger?
I like mushroom bacon type burgers. I like a barbecue mustard type of sauce usually.
Okay.
Sauteed onions goes on everything in my
Yeah.
house.
Yeah.
It's the one thing I'll start doing, and that'll be going.
Right.
Even just for
I don't
the
know what I'm
smell.
making, but we have
Yeah.
onions.
And if I screw up the
Yeah.
time, it just gets cooked even better.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
That's true. Yeah, burnt, and you're like, oh, they're
Crisp.
perfect.
Crispy onions. Yeah, I love that.
Awesome.
But if you could decorate the plate with 2 cotton balls,
Yeah.
sharp cotton ball. I don't know if you've heard the joke, but you're the sharpest cotton ball I've ever met. We bust on each
That's
other.
funny.
So in the beginning, we went through so much trial and error with all this equipment and
Yeah.
everything, and stuff was always failing. And then we would be like, all right, let's take out the iron and sharpen each other's skills.
Yeah, like,
It's
if you,
pretty
you
easy.
have like a bad dish, you're like, we won't make that again.
Yeah.
We had to figure out how to actually do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the money was spent. We were doing it.
Yeah. It's pretty impressive. This is a.
Yeah.
Oh, thank
I'm
you.
very
Awesome.
impressed. Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we always bust on each other. How we're cotton sharpening cotton instead of iron sharpening iron.
That's funny.
I'm gonna use that one.
Yeah, we prefer it, but
Yeah.
man.
Awesome.
So awesome! Thanks again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you everybody for watching. The Community Workbench families are having their annual Spread the Love campaign. Please donate what you can when you can. These late winter months are the hardest for our local pantries and food shares to keep their shelves stocked. So please keep them in mind and try to spread the love. Even a cost of a coffee can go a long way at these places. Join us again next Monday night at 6, April 7th, when we talk to Noreen Wallace from the Holistic Collective. And other than that, we'll see you on Monday. As always, buy local, hire local, dine local, volunteer local, and donate local. I said dine local. Okay, good. Have great days, everybody.